De México hace 11 años.
I came from Mexico 11 years ago. My oldest kid is 9 and his name is David, and my daughter is 6 and her name is Stephanie, and my son is Anthony and he's 3. I think it's a better life. My kids have more opportunity. You know, in Mexico things are really, really hard. My name is Jennifer Arnold. I work for Inquilinos Unidos por Justicia, which is United Renters for Justice. We're a renters' rights organization that organizes tenants to get better conditions in buildings. And in the process, we sometimes connect tenants to help in court. And so we have formed a relationship with Volunteer Lawyers Network, and we connected Elizabeth to a lawyer at Faegre Baker Daniels through VLN. It was a really bad situation. There were cockroaches, bed bugs, mice, and in the winter it was really cold. We had to use space heaters because we were so cold.
In September of 2015, she filled out a form indicating to the landlord that there were problems with her apartment. Structural problems, cockroaches, mice, and she asked, pursuant to statute, please fix them. Well, lo and behold, about a month later, she gets a notice to quit or to vacate. In other words, please leave. So she didn't leave, and the landlord sued her for eviction. And we had the opportunity to step in on her behalf and defend that lawsuit, and defending a number of grounds, including retaliation.
I was supposed to be kicked out of my apartment in the middle of the winter, and my kids are small and I didn't have another place to go. It's a really scary thing when tenants aren't familiar with the process, and I wasn't familiar with the process. So VLN for us has meant people who actually know how to navigate the system and more success in court. Without VLN, without that representation in court, we wouldn't have the success that we've had in keeping people from being kicked out of their homes.
One of the critical parts of being a tenant in this town is you can be sued by an unscrupulous landlord who has no basis for doing so, and I think the court found that here. That black mark follows tenants as they continue to find affordable housing in a very tight market. What we were able to do, and we're thrilled that we were able to do this, is get the court to change the caption from Elizabeth to Jane Doe so that black mark won't follow her, and specifically concluded that this landlord had no basis in doing the lawsuit in the first place.
VLN helped me a lot, specifically when I was going to be kicked out of my home. They helped me a lot in that situation. I felt like I had hope again.
Working with VLN has been extremely helpful. They've got great experience, great expertise, and are very supportive. So from a relatively seasoned lawyer like me, they're able to provide appropriate context help and contacts. And for very, very junior lawyers, or maybe people who don't typically do litigation, they provide a phenomenal array of support to help get people comfortable and in a position to succeed.
Doing pro bono on behalf of people that can't afford to pay for an attorney, I think it elevates the legal profession. Our staff realizes that our volunteers are the backbone of our mission, and our volunteer lawyers give so selflessly of their time and expertise, and that's why it's extremely important for our staff to support them. They support them in many ways behind the scenes that are oftentimes invisible. They do trainings of our volunteer attorneys. They create resources, pleadings, documents. Our intake staff fields over 500 calls per month from people seeking services, and they do their best to screen those cases for eligibility and merit. Our case managers place those cases with volunteers. It really, in my opinion, does make this profession truly a noble profession.
I'm proud of the fact that Volunteer Lawyers Network is still here and is better than it ever was, and that the community of lawyers in this state, and particularly in the metropolitan area, have been able to develop this organization and see that it prospers over time and provides the kind of service we're talking about.
I am VLN. I am VLN.
I am VLN.
I am VLN.
I am VLN.
I am VLN.
I am VLN.
I am VLN.
I am VLN.